I'll put him in the back until he's on. All right. So with that, hello everybody. So Tim is here. He's just having dinner right now. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting for him to show up. Let's see now. So he's here. He's just in the back. So I hope everybody's having a good week. Let me see if he. Let's see if he's. Tim, you there? I guess he's still eating. All right. So, anyways, so we're just gonna wait, give Tim a chance to come in, and actually, I might as well just keep him on that way. He can speak right up when he comes on. Um, I'm waiting to see if he tries to signal me. Um, yeah. So tonight, of course, we're gonna go over some features from Blue Ribbon Comic Volume 1, Issue 3 from MLJ Enterprises, which eventually would be absorbed into Archie Comics, um, including um, Orangutan, um, Silver Fox, Corporal Collins. Um, let's see, Bob Phantom, and Crime Doesn't Pay. We'll probably get through at least 4 of those, maybe all 5. Since we're just focusing on one book tonight, because that was the only book that MLZ Enterprises released that month. Probably even hit up some of the features in that time as well, some of the featurettes. So, anyways, all right. So, anyways, uh, yeah. So, anyways, I hope everybody's having a good week as far as I said. I know it's kind of hard but I know part of it's my fault too for not being here in a timely manner either. I got caught up playing a video game while I was killing some time before the show, so you know how that goes. Sometimes that just happens. So, gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. Find adventure that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears. They are the gummy bears. Let's see. Batman. Batman. Kicked him. Well, I could kick him to the back room, but I think it's just easier to have his avatar on so that when he does come back, I can he can speak right up and I'm here, I'm here. I should probably let him know that we're on the air and we're waiting for him. Oh, anyways, Gable Penfod, huh? All right. Well, hello, Gable. Welcome to the show. We're, as I said, just waiting for Tim to get here so we can get started. Of course, if during the reading, if anything grabs your attention, to comment or ask questions. We'll try to answer the question best of our ability. If you can like and share the stream as well, see if we can get some more friendly people in here. That would help. See if we some more eyes on the prize here, as it were. Um, let's see. Hong Kong Fooey, number one super guy. Hong Kong Fooey, quicker than the human eye. Ching chong, ching wah wah wah. Hong Kong Fooey, that's terrific. Ducktail, woo. You've been saying, I've been saying, Ducktail, woo. I'm in danger, how to find you. Someone has never read Archie. Where do you recommend they start? Any specific trades? No, Gable. I have a particularly different take on comics as a whole. Even R.J. Carter's described it. So usually, like with Archie, I'm for the Archie and a lot of stuff that came from Archie and MLJ Enterprises. I'm reading a lot of this stuff for the first time myself because for me, the way I'm doing this is a historical comics retrospect. So we're going chronologically. I started all the way back in 1935 and just been working my way forward on all the comics. Now I did this for myself for, of course, the DCU and the and those comics that are associated with DC. Comics that got bought up by DC, much like Fawcett, Quality, Charlton, all that. But I personally just prefer doing it, watching, kind of watching the whole idea of the universe grow and progress over time. So my personal recommendation is if you really want to get into the universe and how all these, how it all developed over time, start from chronologically, find the earliest edition, just work your way forward. That'd be my. Now R.J. Carter, usually when we talk about it, when he describes what I do for people, he says a lot of times that when people recommend stuff, they usually will recommend stuff like Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns or something like that. But I'm the type, as I said, but then he points out that I'm the type that just goes all the way back to the beginning and just works my way forward chronologically. So that's what I would, that's just my own personal take on it. Yes, watching these worlds, get built over time, so. Oh yeah, they saw it. Huh. All right, Tim, you there yet? Apparently he's got his mic on, so he at least should be, even if it is kind of off in a distance, he should at least be still um, hearing me speak. I would hope, anyways. Well, anyways, don't ruin this for me, Tim. We'll get here as soon as he. I just checked the message I sent him. He did at least see it, so he's probably aware. He's just still eating dinner. All right. Well, we're already past the 10-minute mark here. Hopefully he'll be on soon, sooner rather than later. I'm gonna go ahead and start at least reading the comics here. Just let him know that way. All right. So, anyways, best thing you watch this week, TV or movie wise? Well, I don't watch much TV. Most of the stuff I watch is older stuff. I set up my own little anime watching, my own little Toonami and Adult Swim blocks throughout the week. So, getting into a lot of stuff, among other things. So, been rewatching Shura no Toki. That one's always a fun one to watch. It's an anime where a particular family that's developed a specific type of martial art has interactions with some of Japanese history's greatest swordsmen, including Musashi Muramoto, Jubei Yagyu, and Ryoma Sakamoto. Oh, that's neat. All right. So, anyways, I think we will get started. Let me see one more time if you've even responded in any way. And if not, we'll just get going here. Nope. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Hopefully, Tim will join us soon. All right. So. I'm a big Chainsaw Man fan. I read the chapters as they
What's
get.
up?
Oh, hey, Tim, you're finally here.
Well,
Yeah, I know it's
dinner.
partly my fault for getting too distracted prior to the show with the game. That's I wasn't on when you first came in. So,
So are we ready?
yeah, and Gable, I've been conversing. Yeah, I'm pretty much ready to go. I just, part of what I was needing to tell you, of course, is what we'll be doing. And this is the comic we'll be looking at tonight, Blue Ribbon Comics. This is Volume 1, Issue 3 from MLJ Enterprises, which would eventually become Archie Comics.
All right.
Let's see. Gable here is we've been talking a bit here. I'm a big Chainsaw Man fan. I read the chapters as they
Don't
get
ruin
released.
this for me, Tim. I ain't ruined nothing, Gable. You button your lip.
Oh boy.
Let's see what else we got. Hashtag kick Tim. Well, how about a hashtag kick Gable in real life? Kidding.
Yeah, I know. I know if I had probably been in here when you first came in, then wouldn't have had the long pause there because I would have obviously.
Right. Well, enough with the pleasantries. Let's get on with it, huh?
All right. Yeah. Anyways, if you haven't already, just a reminder, everybody, if you haven't already, you can like and share the stream. See if we can get some more. See if we can get some more people watching the stream here and getting involved. And of course, as always, if anything that we talk about here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and we'll try to do our best to answer the questions. Tim, as you know, feel free if anything grabs your attention to comment. So with that, let's get started here. So, Blue Ribbon Comics, action, mystery, thrills. January, number 3, 10 cents. That's Corporal Collins on the cover there. Sensational feature, Corporal Collins. Infantryman, Rangatang, the Wonder Dog. Rangatang predates Rex from DC. Also, Scoot Cody, Devils of the Deep, and more. So, then the ad page here. Can you see all that fine, Tim? Tim?
Yes, I can see it fine.
Okay. Hey, Rick's here. Hey, Rick.
Yes, they all have come to watch and ridicule me, especially Gable.
Hey, by Jack Bender and Will Har. Ring the Wonder Dog. Hardly ever in history has such faith existed between man and beast as a sound of friendship, which ties Rangatang to High Speed, the ace detective. Side by side, the two fight for law and order. With his super keen eyes, sensitive ears, unerring sense of smell, and extraordinary agility, the Wonder Dog more than makes up for his inability to speak. In this episode, Rang and Speed match wits with the gangsters. In New York City, a daring daylight robbery is being committed. So I'm going to increase the font a little bit here. Just simply because that seemed a little on the small side there. Okay. Striking with such suddenness, the bandits make good their escape. What? The First National? First National? Be right over. Come on, Rang. There's work to do. There are 5 of them. Went east in a green sedan. While the men talk, Rangatang's keen eyes are busy. So Tim, what do you think his keen eyes are busy about?
His keen eyes are busy about looking for crime. I don't know.
Looking for clues, maybe. Yeah, clues, maybe crime.
Looking for sniffing out coke. I have no idea. It's dogs in law enforcement usually are drug sniffing dogs, or
Rick once kicked me in the okay, and stole jelly bellies for once.
Well, if you probably deserved it, Gable. You probably deserved it.
Oh boy,
who hasn't kicked Gable in the nuts?
Yeah, probably not something to be proud of, though. Rain passes to the curb, or dashes to the curb, and picks up a hat speed. Picks up a hat speed. Realizes the value of the clue. So one of the bandits lost his hat. Herring. Okay, Ring, let's go. They must have gone right past Sally's lunchroom. We'll stop there. Oh, acting on the policeman's information, Speed hops into his car and heads east. High stops at his girlfriend's lunchette, hoping to hoping that she may have seen the bandits. Sally, she's gone. Must have taken her as hostage. Orangutan hunts among the debris, looking for a clue. Finally, the wonder dog recognizes the scent of the bank bandit who lost the hat, proving that the same gang had been at the lunchroom. Speed interprets Ring's actions. They rush off, hot on the trail of the gangsters. Pretty good connection between man and dog there, isn't it? Isn't it, Tim?
Yeah, it is.
Orangutan shows his master the road.
Wait, hold on. Pause. The dog's name is orangutan.
Orangutan, not a orangutan, but I get where you're going with it.
Orangutan. What kind of name for a dog is that?
I don't know. That's just what they decided to call him, Tim.
Sounds like a real hippie.
I thought that too when I first it's orangutan, but I get that some people might put a extra A in front, thinking orangutan like a simian is like a simian creature.
Orangutan ends up in a gangbang.
Oh boy. Okay.
Orangutan.
Orangutan shows his master the road taken by the gangsters. Thanks, Rang. We're on the right trail now. Not far ahead, the gangsters' car careens down the road. So, Tim, what do you think the term careen means?
Careen. Is that driving wildly? Is that like uncontrollably?
I would think driving wildly or driving fast. You see this term a lot back in this time, so not as much nowadays. But inside the car, Sally is held captive. Good idea taking you along. Nobody will shoot at us now.
Hold on. Here. It's a verb, which means move swiftly in an uncontrollable way in a specific direction.
Okay. So we both were kind of right there.
Yep.
Looking into the rear vision mirror, one of the gangsters spots Speed's car. Hey, Chief, there is a car trailing us. I'll take care of that. Having smashed the rear window, the gangster chief fires at Speed and Rang. Duck, Rang. We're in a tough spot. That settles them. While ducking the gangster's bullets, High's car speeds out of control and lands in a shallow creek. Boy, what a close shave. The Wonder Dog hears something in the distance. Meanwhile, the gangsters reach a small dock where a motorboat is tied. Let's see. I got the motor started, Chief. Good. Hey, that's as far as they can trail us. Keep the scent, Ring, or we will never find them. Ring's unerring ear and sense of smell lead them onward, hot on the trail of the gang. So this is their hideout. Careful, Ring. Careful, Rango. Careful, Ring. No noise. Wait here for me. Speed, not wishing to expose Rangatang to danger, orders the faithful dog to remain out of sight, out of the range of bullets. The detective approaches the house alone, but he is not unseen. Keen eyes have spotted him from a second-story window. The thug fires. A bullet barely misses him. Speed whirls and runs toward the end of the house. I must find cover. As he rounds the corner, Speed runs into a waymaker from the gang's chief. A snooper, huh? Although taken unawares, High gives the thugs a terrific battle. Take that, you skunk! But the odds are against High, and he is finally subdued. What did you do with the girl? We'll take you to her, Flatfoot. If you've hurt her, I'll. High is taken to the room where Sally is tied. Sally! Oh my! Oh, hi! Uh, Having tied High Speed to a chair near Sally, the chief decides on a plan. This hideout ain't safe anymore. Let's blow up the joint. Yeah, and them too. Then they can't identify us. To blow up the hideout, one of the gang makes a bomb and places it between the two. Now we'll leave you two lovebirds alone. We're leaving. Why, you dirty rats! Captives and lights. Uh, oh, between the two sets between the two captives and lights a fuse. After the gang leaves, High whistles for the faithful wonder dog Orangutan. Orangutan, hearing his master's call, dashes from his hiding place and circles the house in an effort to locate High Speed. Scenting his master on the second floor, the wonder dog makes a tremendous leap. Wow, look at that! Look at that leap, Tim.
Yeah, who does he think he is? Air Jordan?
Or maybe an early early crypto. Ah, with the force of a bullet, Ring breaks through the window. Wow, he's kind of a big dog, isn't he? He'll do that.
Yep.
The Wonder Dog nimbly lands inside the room where Speed and Sally are held captive. Hurry, Ring! There is no time to lose. To loose. I think they meant to say there's a lettering error, I think, or typo. Ring takes in the situation at once. He dashes for the dynamite. Look at that. The dog's got the dynamite in between his fangs there.
Yep.
Picks up the dangerous explosive in his teeth.
Learn how orangutan no longer has a head. The end.
Speed orders the Wonder Dog to plant the bomb in the gangster's boat, thus preventing their escape. Rang starts on his dangerous mission. Gotta get that dynamite to the boat before it explodes, right?
I knew it. He's a domestic terrorist dog. I had him pegged the whole time.
With the spluttering bomb held tightly in his mouth, the Wonder Dog carries out the commands of his master. He braces himself, then leaps through the window. His powerful muscles project him through the air with terrific force. Wow. And then there's the lit fuse, there's the fuse itself, and there's the dynamite. Look at how they've drawn the dynamite there, Tim. Pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Was that the? I don't know how dynamite works. I suppose there's a.
I think there's the explosives actually within the dynamite. So let's see. Oh, JR's here. Hey, JR. See. Let's hear Mike editorializing about tying up a woman. I didn't. I said innocence, not wholesome. Tim was the one who said wholesome. Okay. So notice they have the woman tied up. Yes, as would be the case with most gangsters.
Wait. Who said something about wholesome or whatever?
JR is going back to our discussion from last week, where I was saying that
yeah,
more innocent.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in that, yes, the general mindset. In other words, I don't think anybody would have been thinking anything dirty about seeing the woman tied up in this situation.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it may be Wonder Woman comics, possibly, because that was kind of the creator's thing. But
yeah, I mean, I get that part. In Wonder Woman, maybe you would have seen it more, but in, as I've been saying the last couple of weeks here, some of these, I said innocence in terms of the state of mind a person's in.
Well, like I said, yeah, the state of, but I've also said the state of mind of how America didn't match up with the reality of America, and I think we all know that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And
in this case, it's because she's the damsel and she's
right. There's nothing sexual going on here.
Maybe there's something wrong with JR. I don't know.
Yeah.
JR, do you have someone tied up in your basement right now? Set them free, JR.
Let's see. Orangutan races to the dock and sets the bomb in the motorboat. The gangsters are taken by surprise. The bomb explodes before their eyes. The concussion paralyzes them. Let's see. There's no way to leave the island, but we'll have to get help, Rang. Take this notice to police headquarters. Without hesitation, the faithful dog is on his way to deliver the message. Back on the island, the gangsters are still dazed. Here is the here is the stolen. Here is. Right. Here is the stolen money. Good. Now I'll tie them up. But they regain consciousness. That's what you think. One by one, the gangsters rise and pitch into the battles. Speed and Sally are outnumbered. But just at that moment, a police plane appears overhead, unable to land on the island. Rang and the cops resort to parachutes. Rang leaps out into space and pulls the ripcord, releasing his own chute. Look at that. Now I have seen one of the cartoons. Now YouTube has the GI Joe channel, right? The Hasbro channel with GI Joe on basically 24/7.
Oh wait, I love JR's response to my question. Not now, maybe tomorrow after lunch if it goes well. Remember, chloroform or roofies, whichever you choose.
Yeah. Well, maybe tomorrow after.
He's gonna drive around with that van that says free candy again.
Yeah. As the police battle the thugs, the gangster chief tries to shoot Speed, but Rain grabs his arm. Thoroughly subdued, the bandits are handcuffed and they are lined up awaiting the police boat. Great job, Speed. Orangutan deserves all the credit, Captain. And so, through the courage, strength, and intelligence of Orangutan, the bank bandits are brought to justice. Watch for another thrilling adventure featuring the Wonder Dog in the next issue of Blue Ribbon Comics. So there we go with that feature. Let's see. So how did you like that one, Tim?
It was fine. They really kind of had
nothing that really grabbed your attention too strongly there.
No, they kind of had a box, and it was all like the criminals or the bad guys were always like mobsters. The heroes were always fantastic and they had no flaws, or
Well, in this case, it was a dog here. The hero was a dog.
No, the hero. Well, I mean, the hero was the human. The dog did all the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Art is half decent in these old ones. Yeah.
Well, I think they kind of they didn't really put too much effort because they didn't think it was something really serious.
Oh right. I mean, this is
no.
Even what was that, Tim? You were about to say something?
I said I think they kind of they probably figured they make junk. Who takes this crap seriously?
Well, I mean, these older comics do look to me, a bit cartoony.
Yeah.
Compared to what we've seen today in comics. But I like that art style though myself, because of course I actually got into comics from cartoons. Now here's one of these featurettes that they would have in these comics, strange but true. I've got my share. Larry Kelly, former Yale captain and All-America end, recently startled the sports world with the statement, quote, coaches are more interested in winning and in safeguarding their boys, unquote. And for those of you who don't know, and that's that was an older term used for the wide receivers. For those who may not have known that. Let's see. Accurate daily measurements over a period of years show that whisker growth is faster in the summertime than in winter. Now, mind you, this was 1939. This was, let's see, in the course of a year, the newspapers bought by Americans weigh 57 pounds per capita. The Electro, Marvel of the Machine Age. Now, this is kind of a little bit interesting in that I think it was last week we actually read Electro, Marvel of the Age in Marvel Mystery Comics. But it wasn't, of course, the Spider-Man villain. It was a robot. But apparently, they also had a robot at this point in time. Westinghouse's 260-pound robot at the New York World's Fair, who performs 36 tricks. He walks, talks, smokes, sings, distinguishes colors, and knows his arithmetic. Electro's anatomy consists of 900 mechanical parts, while 11 motors give him his energy. Ask It Corner. And you notice how they jammed Ask It together. We would write that as two separate words. So, anyways, simple colors but effective. Yep, I'd agree with that. Love robot that makes.
Gable, dang it, you dastardly fiend.
We should get Tim to read some of the comic. You guys can back and forth like the ballroom
Balloon dialogues.
balloon dialogue. Well, yeah. Again, it's optional, Gable. Tim is one of my co-hosts who prefers not to read. I won't force him to read. If he ever wants to read, he's more than welcome to it, and he knows that.
Let's amuse him. I'll read this snippet right here. Ask It Corner. Right, wrong. After a good night's sleep, you are slightly taller than before. Answer. After a good night's sleep, both children and adults are slightly taller than when they went to bed. Statement is true. There. Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted, Gable?
Okay.
You fiend.
Do 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 do. All right. So, anyways, as we continue, and just as a friendly reminder, if you guys haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people on here to watch the stuff. Also, if anything grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer the questions best of our ability. So, yeah, never mind. Mike should read. Okay. Anyways, the Silver Fox, and there have been a few characters over the years called Silver Fox. Just one of them. The ace detective, known as the Silver Fox, because of a streak of white hair down the center of his head. See it right there, Tim?
Yes. Is it organic or is it?
Or is it a dye job?
Sure.
I read this feature before. I don't know. They never specified, I guess. But let's see. His head decides the Baston's okay. But the center of his head decides that Baston's death was not suicide, but murder. However, the fox must prove his point in order to
Wait. Was it murder?
Say what?
Was it murder?
Well, that's what they're claiming here.
So then it was murder.
I'm a silver fox in my old age. Yeah, silver fox I know is also used as a term for anybody who has like a specific like a streak of gray in there.
No. In this case, Gable's a silver mutt.
Mr. Baxton is found dead in the back room of the saloon he owned jointly with Mr. Riggs. A silver fox arrives on the scene. The silver fox questions Riggs, Baxton's partner. Hmm. You say he threatened suicide? Yes. He had been down in spirit for some time. And Baston's girlfriend. Yes, we were engaged. I could never figure why he was so despondent. Hmm. It's suicide, all right. I'll take the gun along, though. We'll mark the case closed. Um, don't touch anything till the coroner comes. Routine, you know. The silver fox decides to investigate on the sly. On the sly, what do you think that? What do you think that means, Tim? That phrase "on the sly."
Um, on the sly, on secretly.
Yeah, that's what I would think too. Hmm. Hmm. A new trunk. Someone is contemplating a trip. In the street, the fox encounters a boy and a girl. It's too bad about Mr. Batson. He was so nice to us kids. He always played with us. The silver fox inquires in the neighborhood. Only this afternoon he played with them for hours, laughing, and he was so jolly. Too bad. The silver fox rushes to headquarters. Funny way for a despondent man to act. He sends the police photographer to the scene of the crime. Get me a picture of the floor of the back room. I'll be right down there. In the police laboratory, Joe, see if there are any fingerprints on this gun. Sure thing, Fox. Then back to the scene. What's the matter now? Oh, just a matter of record, nothing important. Yeah, I think Mr. Riggs is getting a little suspicious, don't you? Don't you, Tim?
A little bit.
Yeah. that's it. How dare you? Huh. To get Riggs' fingerprints, the Silver Fox resorts to a ruse. Hmm. Say, that's an exact duplicate of a vase I have. I have home. Want to sell it? Um, here, take it with my compliments. That's very nice of you. Thanks, Mr. Riggs. Back in the laboratory. Well, what's it look like, Fox? Just as I thought. The silver fox examines the print of the floor. Here are the marks showing the body had been dragged to the table. Here are the prints taken from the vase and from the gun. Now see if they match, and I'm sure they will. The prints are projected on the screen. Just as I thought. The fingerprints on the gun and vase match perfectly. How to find the motive for the killing. Returning to Batson's saloon, the silver fox overhears. If you'll sign the paper, we can complete the deal. There it is, 10,000 in full. The business is yours. Riggs and Batson's girlfriend plan to leave town. I'll be glad to get out of this town. How about the man who's to drive us? Better call about it. Riggs makes the arrangements, and have the cab here at 6 in the morning, sharp. We're making an early start. A little subterfuge. Hey there, Tim.
Yep.
Yeah. Tim, if you want to talk to the chat for a moment and maybe plug your latest project, I've got to make some lighting adjustments here. I think they're getting pretty dim in here, so I'm going to go off camera for a moment to make those adjustments. If you want to go ahead and plug your book, plug your projects, talk to the chat. I'll be right back.
All right. Hello, chat. How are you, you silly chat? Let's see how much days left on my campaign. Scrolling down to the link and clicking on it. All right. About 18 days left for Melvin 3 before it closes. So you want to get on it and try to get me to 700 so I can start getting that card made. Yep. Would the baby be called Melvis? Huh. I'll have to think on that one, Gable. That's Melvis. Melvis. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm thinking since originally the story arc was supposed to be a 5-issue story arc, and I decided to combine both stories into one book and make when I start making Melvin 4, I want to make it a double, like a basically like a double a giant size. Giant size, you know, where they had more pages and it was still floppy. Basically, it'd be like 2 issues in one book. What do you think, Gable? Well, it's true that Melvin may or may not have an evil twin brother, yes. But Kelvin does actually sound like a better name than the original name. I don't know. That's a good question. When will a Gable Penny Shot, the one asking, write the Moldark one shot? When will you, Gable? Anytime. Come on. Anytime you want to answer that question. Oh, I figure if I decided doing a Melvin series, I mean, not a Melvin series, a Zed and Odysseus series, that Melvin would make an appearance. They are indeed these are golden questions. They're more than gold. They're uranium questions. I don't know if that's more than gold. Actually, I just kind of made that up. Melvin would be Melvin would be a destructive, powerful, almost a tank. He'd be a car that's also a tank. Keep them coming, Gable. Come on, keep them coming. What else you got?
All right, I'm back. So let's see what you guys have been.
Okay, wait. I gotta hear me out, Tim. Melvin has to enter a cross country hover ship race in order to stop evil Emperor Shaboof and his and free Alice from the Monkey Man.
Okay. Tim, did you have a chance to share your link to your campaign, or?
I could do that. Hold on. I was having fun answering Gable's questions. He had
Yeah,
so many.
I heard you. As I said, I was just had to go off to make some lighting adjustments here.
Make some mother noise. Right. Oh, great! They actually are going to put out that live action Snow White crap.
All right, so if you guys want to check out Tim's project, there's the link. Um, Feel free to go check it out, and if you like it, support it. um, Anyways, let's get back to the material at hand here. All right, so the silver fox overhears the conversation. All set, honey. That's fine, sweetheart. There's a motive. Riggs wanted to sell the saloon and elope with his partner's girlfriend. Back at headquarters, the fox speaks to the chief. Um, have a man there to pick up the driver. He's to call at 6 o'clock. Okay, Fox. At 6 the next morning, the silver fox and an officer meet the driver. I didn't do anything. It's all right, buddy. We're just borrowing your clothes and your cab. Fox, disguised as the cab driver, rings the bell. It's the cab. Let's go. All right, drive straight to the borderline. Honey, we'll soon be away from it all. And I'm glad. The cab turns into the yard of the police headquarters. Hey, where are you going? The couple is ordered out of the cab by the cops. Come on, hurry up. Hey, what's the big idea? Just, just want to ask you a few questions. Fox cross-examines Riggs and the girl. Now, if you'll just confess, I'll save you a lot. It'll save you a lot of trouble. I didn't do it. I tell you, it's a frame-up. The crook here is stupid again, isn't he? Isn't he, Tim?
I suppose so. What's the what do you do that supposedly made him stupid?
Well, I mean, he okay. It would have been in this case better for him to just simply play dumb, but apparently he didn't. It's almost like he's telling them in a
He
more
just he just go ahead and
he
confesses.
knows why they're there.
Yeah, he just goes on ahead and confesses.
What was that?
He just goes on ahead and confesses then, right?
Right. That's the Silver Fox reconstructs the motive and the crime. The Silver Fox speaks. I'm saying that 3 times fast. You were in love with your partner's girl. You had a chance to sell out and didn't want to count him in on the deal. So you shot him just where he doesn't matter, just where doesn't matter for the moment. And you dragged him to the back room. You dragged the body along the floor, which is proven by the heel marks shown in the photograph. You placed the gun in his hand. Your fingerprints are on it. We matched them with the prints on the vase you handed me, remember? Pointing an accusing finger at Riggs, Fox says, and you see it was your biggest mistake that proved it was murder. What did I do? The Silver Fox solves another baffling mystery in the next issue. Okay, so that we should. Okay, if he hadn't fallen on that table, the bottle wouldn't have remained standing there. You're guilty, Riggs. The Silver Fox solves another baffling mystery in the next issue of Blue Ribbon Comics. Don't miss it. What did you think of that one, Tim?
Typical. It's a typical comic from the 30s. It's the bad guys are mobsters. The hero is like flawless in stopping them and always seems to have the upper hand. It's like looking at a thing of toast from the toaster with nothing on it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, again, a common plot point is the corrupt officials, gangsters, and you would have some pro-war going on in this time. So
yeah, I need bigger kicks than that.
So Tim, you want to read this because I guess you were responding to Gable here.
Yes, I said, Gable, maybe I could use that for a Xenodicius story.
Okay, and then Gable responds,
I'm a creative powerhouse.
Yep.
That is the rumor. Never talk to cops unless a lawyer is present.
Yeah. Well, that's another mistake he made too, obviously, but he pretty much confessed to it just in how he responded there. It's almost like he was telling the cop he knew why he was there.
Yeah.
This is guess this little feature was Sugar, Honey, and Huggin'. course, probably the one thing that would probably I would probably get a lot of heat for this story, even though this is a story in regards to anthropomorphic animals here. Look at some of the designs, particularly of the heads. Tim, do you see something that might get some people upset?
Is it one of the bears?
Well, the bear, and maybe to a slightly lesser degree, I guess the fox over here.
Oh, is he smoking a cigarette? A jazz cigarette?
No, that's not where I was going with it. The bear, and maybe to a slightly lesser degree, the fox, at least to me, from what I can tell, looks a little borderline blackface.
Well, the giveaway would probably be how they talk. Do they talk like a stereotype of a?
Oh yeah, I guess I could see that too.
Oh lordy, they eating a picnic. I'm with Cable. Down with the furries.
Yeah. Cody here. I like how they drew the girl there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Well, maybe Gable. Maybe it's Black Bear Face.
Red Grange. Here's another little featurette here. Red Grange, the galloping ghost of the gridiron. In his glory, Grange toted the pigskin 403 times, scoring 531 touchdowns, or 4,013 times, scoring 531 touchdowns, a record yet to be equaled. Yeah, I even think even to this point, because that was back in 1939, that was like 84 years ago. That mark might still be in effect. Here he comes, there he goes, the familiar cry when Red started down the field. Red Grange was a famous running back from that time. Although the Redheads' active days are over, coaching and broadcasting keep the immortal 77 in football spotlight. Of course, they would have been radio broadcasting at this point. So TV hadn't really been a thing yet. So Corporal Collins, infantryman. Corporal Collins, two-fisted American in the French infantry, smashes his way almost single-handed to another victory over the enemy. So we're not even in the war yet, and yet they're already writing stories as if we were. Notice that, Tim?
Yeah. But he's who's he fighting for though?
Yeah. All quiet on the Western Front. No excitement around here. Wish something would happen. Suddenly, a hostile plane appears overhead. Dig in, boys. It's an enemy plane. The enemy plane swoops down and erases the infantrymen with the machine gun fire. And you notice a tail wing right there, Tim? Notice the markings on the plane?
Yes, I saw the swastika.
Yeah. The French soldiers hastily set up a machine gun. Corporal Collins goes into action with his famous Faber-Steel flexible Redoler and returns the enemy's fire. The Fabra-Steel flexible repeller magnetizes the bullets and returns them with added speed. Wow. Your name's on this, buddy. Right back at you. Corporal Collins' bullets find their mark. The wounded aviator pancakes his ship to Earth. Come on, boys! It's our prize. I got an idea. She'll still go. I'll try it. With one wheel off the landing gear, the soldiers lift the plane for a novel takeoff. Oh, look at it! Look at this! So what are they going to do? They're going to collectively try to launch that thing? What do you think, Tim?
It's not gonna work.
Well, maybe not. We'll see. All right, boys. When I kick her over, start running.
Have a good night, Gable.
Oh, did he take off? See you later. Good, he made it. These Jerrys think I'm one of them. I take it Gable took off. Tim?
Yep. Seems like it.
I hope you enjoyed what at least what we read thus far. Boy, oh boy, a munitions dump. What a target. They'll remember this. Corporal Collins scores a perfect hit. They're wise to me. Oh, 2 enemy planes become suspicious and begin firing at Corporal Collins. Ah! With unerring aim, Corporal Collins downs one of the Jerry planes. Well, one out of 2 is batting 500.
I find this so weird that they're using the terminology that they would go to describe like Jerry's. Is this an English comic? Because the English would be dealing with them right about when they write about this time.
Well, I think the book was published here in the States by MLJ Enterprises. I'm in a fix. Now I'm out of gas. An enemy balloon. I've got an idea. Put. Hurtling clear of the plane, Collins lands on the observation ballroom. Observation balloon. I made it. Climbing down the basket, Corporal Collins is met by a hail of lead. Come on, stand up and fight. But with his capable Yankee fist, Collins disarms enemy observers. They think I killed these operatives. I'll cut the rope. The battle is seen enemy and forces and with their anti-aircraft guns open fire on the balloon. I'll have this data as well as the parachute. I may need it. A shell tears through the balloon fabric, and Collins leaps from the basket. And there he goes. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Collins has landed atop a top wall of an enemy prison camp. A safe landing,
Oh,
but
it's interesting. They don't even refer to them as Nazis or Germans.
they refer to them as Jerry's.
Jerry's is a slanderous term for Germans, but they don't call them. They don't refer to them as Nazis or Germans. Have you seen them use the word Germans yet?
No, good point, I guess. All right, a safe landing, but not a safe place. How nice, a reception committee. Tisk tisk. Well, here goes. His gun, belching fire. Belching fire. Okay. Interesting term. Hey there, Tim.
Yeah,
Collins leaps to meet the enemy. All's fair in love and war.
that is the weirdest way to jump at somebody.
Ach! You make a good shield. After mopping up the guards, Collins frees the French prisoners. Okay, the French prisoners open the gates. I'll keep you covered. More guards open fire, but Corporal Collins' sixth sense enables him to duck the bullets.
What
Into
a
that
surprise!
into that tank before they sound the alarm. Well, six. Some people do have six, and it's not necessarily considered too much of a
Yeah,
power.
yeah, I know. I just like look. He without effort is able to defeat them. It's almost without effort, so it's almost uninteresting.
Start the motor. Collins and the French soldiers make their escape in the tank, but the enemy immediately gives chase. Faster, much faster. Their tanks follow. Shells fill the air, but Collins eludes the pursuers. More speed. We've got to make the bridge. We made it. Hand me the other grenade. Collins' tank has just crossed the bridge. The enemy tanks just behind, but still on the bridge. He throws his last grenade. The bridge and tanks are blown up by the exploding grenade. The remaining tanks topple into the river. I'm sure, Corporal, with one regiment like you, this war would be over in 1 week. Thank you, sir. See Corporal Collins as he encounters the enemy in another terrific battle in the next issue of Blue Ribbon Comics. So, any commentary there, Tim, on that story?
Oh, just they were fighting the Germans clearly, but they referred to them as Jerry's, but they never used the word German or Nazi in it. The hero, without effort, was able to save the day. Um, that kind of thing.
But isn't that the idea? Get behind a hero. You get behind a hero, get behind a cause. I think that's what
Well,
they
don't you want your character to struggle a little bit and have some bit of a challenge, or else it's not engaging. It's just like he without effort saves the day, and they're like, oh, that's boring.
I don't know. I mean, there was effort made. Obviously, he did have to fly a plane. I mean, there were a few times when he was vulnerable, like when he jumped out of the plane, right? You know,
Well, He lands in an enemy base, defeats the enemies, and saves the people trapped in there within a page or so.
Yeah.
Uh,
Again, I don't know if readers at this point would have been too worried about whether or not he struggled to do it. I think the whole idea of, you know, this set of guys are the bad guys. This guy's a good guy. Good guy beats up bad guys, kicks their butt, and that's the extent of what I think the readers were wanting or expecting at that time.
yeah, well, I mean, when I grew up, you know, Wolverine got the crap kicked out of him, but he was a scrappy fighter, and you know, like when they had that machine gun and he ran and took him out with some tools, but he still got he still got shot up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Or when he was fighting that's probably a bad example. I'm saying that I didn't feel like it was I don't know.
It wasn't to you. It wasn't quite as compelling.
It was boring.
Right.
I mean, if I had to be blunt, it was a boring story.
Well, we'll move on to the next feature here. Bob Phantom, Scourge of the Underworld. We're making some pretty good time here. We might actually get through all 5 features I was going to try here. Scourge of the Underworld. Snaky Sims, big-time racketeer, organizes a mob. We got to do this systematically. You Tim will do that Van Halter job. Okay, Chief, tonight. That night, Tim starts out for the Van Halten mansion. You won't pull this job, Tim. Bob Phantom. That gun won't help you, Tim. Ow! Bob Phantom whisked up Tim, who is powerless and his might grasp. Okay, I think they forgot to put a Y in there. What do you think, Tim?
Sorry. Yeah, they forgot to say they forgot to say they meant to say mighty.
Mm-hmm. Where are you taking me? Ha! You'll find out. When Tim doesn't return, the thugs are dazzled. I can't understand it. Tim didn't return yet. The paper doesn't say nothing about a pinch. Maybe he skipped with the loot. Treachery afoot. No, there's no story of the robbery in the paper. Listen, Hank, you do that job tonight. Okay, boss. Later, Hank is breaking into the Van Halter mansion. Huh, I guess Tim got cold feet. You've gone. Suddenly, the shadow, the Phantom appears. You've gone far enough. It's Bob Phantom. This is your last job. Help! Bob Phantom clamps his hand over the gangster's mouth and whisks him away. Come on, we're going places. The thugs wonder at Hank's disappearance. Um, there's something screwy going on here. Hank didn't come back either. Sure is spooky. Snaky Sims formalizes a plan to solve the mystery of the missing men. Listen, Joe and Slug. Listen, Joe and Slug will start out tonight, and Red and Bill will follow at a distance to see what happens. The mobsters follow out Snaky's orders. Wonder what happened to Hank and Tim. I don't know. I'm keeping my gun handy. From out of nowhere comes Bob Phantom. You're wasting your lead, punks. It's a spook. Hope I'm not too rough, boys. Oof! Once again, Bob Phantom takes the hoodlums in his mighty grasp and whisks them away. Amazed at the sight of Bob Phantom, the other two thugs flee in the terror. Let's get out of here. Yeah, we'll go back and tell the chief. The thugs return to their hideout and tell Sims what they saw. And he whisked them away. Well, why didn't you polish him off? But we can't fight a spook, boss. That must have been Bob Phantom. Enraged, Sims turns on his own men. Somebody is squealing our plans to him. Sure it ain't you? Honest, boss, it ain't me. Maybe it's you, huh? Okay, you guys, tomorrow's the day for the payroll stick-up. I want you all to go and make sure you bring back the dough. The appointed hour, the mobsters stage the daring payroll robbery. We'll take that dough. Get him up. But at that moment, Bob Phantom swoops in to view. No, you won't. It's a spook. With hammer-like blows, he goes into action. Nothing grabbing your attention there, Tim?
It's all right.
At least this guy's kind of more of a mystery man here.
Yeah.
After a short but fierce battle, Bob Phantom whips all the thugs he gathers them up, and let's see, and gathers them up like sacks and zooms into the air. An extra is on the street. Snaky Sims rushes up to a newsboy and buys one. Wall Street! Read all about it, about the big holdup. Give me one, boy. The Globe. Payroll robbery foiled by Phantom. As Sims paces the floor, he hears sounds coming from the cellar. Bob Phantom again. Wow, what's that noise? Gun in hand, Snaky sneaks down the cellar. If them's cops, I'll blast them wide open. To his amazement, Sims finds all his own men tied and gagged in the cellar. Hey, what do you call this? I don't know. What would you call that, Tim?
I would call that his men tied in the cellar.
Oh boy. How do you get how do you get here? But Venom, he brought us all here. I'm scramming. You guys are yellow. Why, if I could get my hands on Bob Venom, I'd. At that moment, Bob Venom appears. What would you do, Snaky? I'll blast you wide open, you spook. Oh, yeah? Bob Venom downs his man with a flying tackle. With a mighty heave, Bob Venom lifts the gang chief and flings him against the wall. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Hysterically, with fear, the mobsters turn to flee. I'm lambing out of here. Me too. I can't find no spook. But Bob Venom jerks them back into the room. Not so fast, guys. There's no sense in you trying to get away. The only place you'll be safe from me is in jail. Isn't that the typical hero for you? Yeah, you guys don't want to put up with me, then go rot in jail. One by one, he beats the thugs unmercifully. Are you going to give yourselves up, or shall I continue? Let us alone. We'll go. We'll give ourselves up. Well, get going. The gangsters, thoroughly whipped, enter the police station to pay their debt to society. Captain, me and my men want to give ourselves up. Okay, Snaky. We'll fix up some nice cells where you'll be safe from Bob Phantom. Watch Bob Venom clean up another nest of hoodlums in the next issue of Blue Ribbon Comics. Well, Tim, I didn't hear too much commentary from you, so I'm guessing this probably is another one that didn't really grab your attention too much.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You're asking a question. I was
noting that you didn't really have too much to say about this one, so I'm guessing that this one didn't really grab your attention too much either.
It's not bad. The character is a little different than most. The villain's very typical for that time period, which is a mobster. Obviously, they're not thinking. They obviously don't think this is a. How do I put this? That this art form is it's not taken seriously. So that the villains are very simple and the heroes are very simple, and they don't.
Yeah, the writing does seem kind of simplistic.
Yeah, I mean, we probably won't get anything. I mean, the comic books won't probably gain any traction probably till the 50s when with EC Comics.
Well, we might see some stuff in the 40s there.
Yeah.
Remember, this is December 1939.
Oh, right, 40s. The 40s, but that's because of World War II.
Yeah. And I do know that things will pick up. Well, you'll have a number of stuff going on. Now, granted, superheroes will be good in the early 40s and then start to wane a bit in the late 50s. But then you will, obviously during wartime, you'll have a lot of wartime, comics come about.
Yeah.
But
Well,
aside from that, in the mid to late 40s, you'll also have some romance comics coming into
Yeah.
it too. So.
Oh, in the 50s, it was all about, like, they had horror, they had crime, they had. I think the horror books are probably the big ones.
Now, this particular series, I think, was one of those based on real events type stories there. Crime on the Run, the Los Angeles Killers. A true story of a gang of desperados whose deadly deeds were ended only after lives of innocent citizens were sacrificed. True Stories of Crime #2 by Jack Cole. On July 23rd, 1932, 3 bandits entered Broder's Jewelry store at 768 South Vermont Street, Los Angeles, California. Put them up. While the men were looting the showcases, a customer entered and, seeing what was happening, turned to leave the store. Stand still. I want to get out. Now, maybe you'll do as you're told. Crack! Come on, let's go. But on their way out, one of the bandits dropped his loot bag on the floor of the store. Police arrived on the scene soon afterward. Dead. An innocent, defenseless old man killed by gold-thirsty dogs. Look, Rainey, they must have dropped this bag. Looks like a pillowcase. Take it down to headquarters and have it examined while I go over these showcases for fingerprints. Several fingerprints were discovered, but the police were unable to match any with those of known criminals. Looks like we're up a tree for the time being, unless something breaks. And it did break. At 1:21 p.m., August 24th, Lester Droll, manager of a bank on South Broadway, Los Angeles, was talking on the telephone when I can't talk anymore, Jim. There's a stick up. Call the police, will you? Line up, everyone, and no funny stuff. All right, boys, get the cash quick. Stuffing money into their pockets and bags, the bandits began to leave when the African American thug shot one of the bank tellers. Just a souvenir. Granted, I changed the term there, and you probably know why I changed the term, right, Tim?
Hold on. Yeah, you changed the term?
Yeah, in that previous statement, I used the term African American because there was another one there.
Oh, right. That. Well, I mean, it was the time period.
Yeah.
I mean, if you read it, it would probably be you'd be paraphrasing a book, not actually saying it yourself. So
yeah. A wanton and unnecessary shooting. This enraged the bank manager. Beyond control, his own friend shot down in cold blood. Suddenly, he jerked his desk drawer open and, Take that. Take that. And that. Deserting their companions the other two bandits jumped into a waiting car and started down the street. Droll kept firing. Tearing up Broadway, they came to 75th Street. Suddenly, watch out, fool! Crash! Zoom! Back up and get going. The three bandits escaped. Soon, police and detectives of the homicide squad, fingerprint men, and photographers arrived on the scene. Both deader and doornails. Mr. Droll, you are to be congratulated for such a courageous deed. The injured bank teller was rushed to a hospital. Police then searched the pockets of the slain men. Here's an auto registration card from one, and a slip of paper from the Negro's pocket. And now I'm just reading the book. It was the Times. Frank Alvarado owns a Ford. Let's see the other paper. We'll check the address and see what turns up. Here's a pillow slip they left, sir. Is it worth anything? Has a possible clue? It is it. This means that the thugs are the same ones who killed that old man last month. The pillow slip was compared with the one found at the Broder store. Both were the same material and style. The jeweler identified both dead bandits as two of the bandits who had robbed him, but the leader was still at large. A great manhunt ensued. We checked up on the two addresses, Chief, and found that the bandits' families are absolutely innocent. Did you find out anything of the thugs' associates? The Negro's half-brother said he had associated with a man known as Yorkie. It's only a slim chance, but bring the brother in. Whereupon all pictures of men named Yorkie, York, Yorks, etc., were shown to the slain Negro's half-brother. He picked one out. That's him, I'm sure. Robert York, a 3-time loser. Now we're getting somewhere. Another clue came up when the other dead bandit, Frank Alvarado, was said by his brother to have gone to a hotel with a man called George. Once detectives went to the hotel. We're from headquarters. Let's look at your register. Here it is. Frank Alvarado and George Turcotte. Is Turcotte still here? No, he checked out. The detectives returned to headquarters. That night, Detective Rainey, while driving around town, suddenly spoke to his companion. I've got a hunch, Dane. We're going back to that hotel again. I think you're crazy, but go ahead. Can we see your book again? Look, these names are different, but the writing is that of George Turcotte. Going up to the room, the two men, Rainey knocked on the door. It soon opened. Keep him up, York. Inside, George Turcotte reached for his gun. The thugs are taken into custody. Well, that about finishes the job. What a hunch that was! The remaining bandits, whose names were found to be Harold LeMay and Homer Rogers, were soon captured. George Turcotte and Homer Rogers were convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. Harold LeMay received a 14-year-to-life sentence in Folsom Penitentiary. Robert York was executed at San Quentin, his reward for murder. Once again, law conquered crime and will continue to do so until criminals learn that the straight way is the best way.
Not the gay way.
Why? Because of what they do to prisoners?
Yeah, I guess so. They probably did it to them back then.
Yeah. Note names of people other than criminals involved are fictitious to protect innocent citizens. So, boys and girls, win a prize for your letters. So, the letter writing, and look at some of the got Corporal Collins right there, Bob Phantom,
Right.
Silver Fox, Ringatang, Ringatang. So what did you think of the selections tonight, Tim? Overall,
I mean, it was kind of typical for that time period.
typical fare.
Yeah.
Nothing too extraordinary.
Yeah, I like we said that there probably wouldn't be an explosion until the 40s when comic books got a little more interesting because of the war, and then would quickly die out. And then of course, then in the 50s you had the big horror comics were a pretty big deal until that Senate hearing.
Well, yeah,
And then you'd have the 60s where,
because I think we only had the one book we're going over tonight. That might have also somewhat contributed to the limiting of story, because basically of the five, but basically four, they're all roughly the same plot. More, I mean, you did have the one military plot in there.
Yeah.
You had, but more or less it was, law enforcement facing off against gangsters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even the military one was like, let's fly this German airplane. I got shot down. I'll land right in this base and save all these French soldiers single-handedly. I saved the day. The end.
All right. Well, anyways, why don't we go ahead? We're at an hour 48 here, so I think it's a good time to start wrapping up. So one of the last things we'll do before we wrap up, and I'll give you a chance to do your outro in a sec here, Tim. So today being Friday, September 8th, 2023, let's take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. Anyways. Alrighty then. So, first off, I'm going to head back 20 years ago today. As on this date 20 years ago today, first off, WWE held its Monday Night Raw event from the Von Braun Civic Center in Huntsville, Alabama. Main event saw Goldberg teaming with Randy Orton to take on Triple H and Ric Flair. That ended in a no contest. Mark Henry, Rodney Mack, and Tim Conway and World Tag Team Champions La Resistance defeated the Hurricane Rosie, the Dudley Boys, and Spike Dudley. Women's champion Molly Holly teamed with Gail Kim to defeat Trish Stratus and Jacqueline. And the show, of course, started off with a steel cage match, which Kane defeated Rob Van Dam. And 2003 is just so nice that we're gonna hit it twice. As also on this date in 2003, 20 years ago today, Connie the Cow would make its American premiere on Noggin. Carnegie Cow was a Spanish animated show that was dubbed into English when it was brought to the States, and they premiered on Noggin for the English broadcast on this date 20 years ago. It originated back in 2001, from what I understand. So there we go with that one. Moving on to 2005, which was 18 years ago today. On this date in 2005, 18 years ago today, the 130th issue of Looney Tunes from DC Comics went on sale on this date back in 2005. So for $2.25, 44 pages. Features included Bugs Bunny, Teacher's Pet Peeve, Tweety and Sylvester School Dazed, and Foghorn Leghorn Homework Helper. Also had another story, What Did I Do on My Vacation? So obviously this was in celebration of back to school, I guess. Henceforth, all the stories with such feature. And finally, last but not least here, someday, and this 5 years ago today, Fully Cooley would premiere on Adult Swim. Fully Cooley Alternative, but part of the Fully Cooley franchise. Alternative was produced by Production IG, Toho, and William Street. Basically, this was the third season of the Fully Cooley anime, preceded by Progressive, and the next season, Grunge. I think debuted last week, actually. So now we're into the fourth season but on this date back in 2018, Fully Cooley Alternative would premiere on Adult Swim. So with that, now before we head out, of course, Tim, would you like to do an outro? Would you like to plug your book, share any links? Do your outro.
All right. Let's do this. Melvin 3 has 18 days available. 18 days left. Back it while you still can. I may or may not extend it for another 30 days. I'll have to see if Luke will let me do that. And if we can get to 700, a card will be available.
All right. Anything else, or?
No, that's it. That's it so far.
I hope you'll join us on Sunday for the panel show, and you can share your impressions of what we read tonight.
Yeah,
I know I have you back here next week as well when we're going over stuff from Dell. That one might prove to be there might be a little bit more to the stuff from Dell, because a lot of that's more reprints of news, and we'll be doing more like humor stories, gag strips.
That might be something. Yeah.
So that might be a little different from what we did tonight. So you might enjoy that a little bit more. But with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. We'll be back here, of course, on Sunday with our panel show, the weekend edition. And then we'll be back to our news coverage Monday through Thursday. And then, of course, next Friday, Tim will be with me again. Next Friday, the 15th, as we will be looking over comics that went on sale in December 1939 from Dell Comics. Most notably, Super Comics Volume 1, Number 20, and Cracker Jack Funnies, Volume 1, Number 20. So, with that, I thank everybody for being here, and I hope everybody has a good weekend. And we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.
Peace out.